Part 2 video of the Unit 9 Polygon Similarity Test Review. We are on question 21. Are these triangles similar? If so, justify. In this triangle, we know that this is 26. We were given that this is 80, so we know that the vertical angle is also 80 degrees. If we subtract from 180, this angle is 74 degrees. If we do the same thing over here, we see that this is 26 degrees. Now I have two angles that are congruent in each triangle, so I know that they are similar by the angle-angle postulate. Are these triangles similar? 22. If so, justify and give the similarity statement. So again, I see that B is congruent to E and C is congruent to F. So I do have enough information to say that they are similar by the angle-angle postulate. And I know that triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. 23. CV is 3. Solve for X. We know that TV is 15, so we're going to need this entire length, FV, which is 9, to be able to set up a proportion. Because X corresponds with 15 and 6 corresponds with 9. So we have 6 over 9 equals X over 15. Cross multiply, 90 equals 9X. So X equals 10. We're going to skip over number 24. There was an error in making the problem. So, 25, solve for X and Y. To be able to solve for X, we know that X and 15 correspond, so 3 and 9. We're setting up the same ratios each time. So 3 over 9 equals X over 15. Cross multiply and you get 45 equals 9X. So X equals 5. Now to be able to solve for Y, we have the entire side of the small triangle corresponds with the entire side of the big triangle. So we need to make sure that we set up the same ratio. So if X is just a small side of, or an entire side of a small triangle, it's going to correspond with the entire side of right here. So 15 plus 5, which is 20. So now we can set up those ratios, which is Y over 12 equals 5 over 20. Cross multiply, 20Y equals 60, divide by 20, and Y equals 3. 26. A person is watching a geyser and wanted to be able to see the top. He put a mirror on the ground and backed up until he could see the top 7.5 feet away. If the mirror was placed 45 feet away and from the geyser, and he is 6 feet tall, how high did the geyser spray? So we have provided you with an image, so it's just like normal. It is a proportion problem. So X is going to correspond with his height, which is 6 feet, and 45 is going to correspond with how far away the man is from the mirror, 7.5. So if we set up our ratios, 6 over X equals 7.5 over 45. Cross multiply, 270 equals 7.5X, and X equals 36. 27. Solve for QP and PR. QP is right here, and then PR will be Y. Proportions. 4 corresponds with X. 6 corresponds with 12. 4 over X equals 6 over 12. Cross multiply. 48 equals 6X. X equals 8. Same thing except for now with Y. So we can use 6 and 12 still, and then we have 7 corresponds with Y. So 6 over 12 equals 7 over Y. 6Y equals 84. Y equals 14. 28. Are these triangles similar? If so, justify and give the similarity statement. So I see that angle A is congruent to angle D, angle B is congruent to angle E, angle C is congruent to F. So according to the AA postulate, we know that they are similar. We also need to give the similarity statement. So triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. 29. Are these triangles similar? Justify your answer. For the missing angle, if we subtract from 180, this equals 50. If we subtract from 180, this equals 80. There are not two pairs. We have one pair, but we need two pairs of congruent angles. These do not have two pairs, therefore they are not similar. Are these triangles similar? Justify. For here we have 90, 45, and 45, and on this side, this is 90 degrees, and it's also an isosceles triangle, which means that the two remaining angles are congruent, therefore they both have to be 45 degrees, and we do in fact have two pairs or two sets of congruent angles. So these are similar, these triangles are similar by the angle-angle postulate. 31, solve for x. This is what we did on the last day, so it's going to be side 1 over the altitude equals the altitude over side 2. 9 over x equals x over 4. Cross multiply. 36 equals x squared. 6 equals x. Alright, for this one we don't know what the altitude is, so to be able to find x, first we have to find the altitude. So we can set up our proportion. 9 over a equals a over 7. Cross multiply. And we get 63 equals a squared. So a equals the square root of 63. And I'm just going to leave it like that for now because I'm not all the way at the end of my problem yet. So now if I want to solve for x, this is a right triangle, so I can use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and b are legs, so it'll be 9 squared plus the square root of 63 squared equals x squared. 9 squared is 81. The square root and square cancel each other out, so it'll just be 63 equals x squared. 144 equals x squared. Take the square root, and 12 equals x. Solving for x again. We have side 1, altitude, and side 2, so we're just simply setting up proportion. 8x over 8 equals 8 over 4. Cross multiply. 4x equals 64, and x equals 16. 34. Solve for the altitude, QS. So we have side 1, we have the altitude, but we need side 2. All you have to do is 12 minus 8, which is 4, and now we can set up a proportion. 8 over x equals x over 4. Cross multiply. 32 equals x squared, square root. The square root of 32 equals x, but we need to reduce this radical, so I need to factor out 32. What goes into 2? 2 and 16. What goes into 16? This is prime number. 2 and 8. What goes into 8? 2 and 4. What goes into 4? 2 and 2. So I have it's the same thing as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Square root, pair them off. So it'll be 2 times 2, square root of 2. 4 square roots of 2 equals QS. 35. Draw the dilation of the figure given the scale factor of 1/2. So, because they didn't give it to us, we're assuming that the center of dilation is the origin. When we dilate from the center, we just take the coordinates and multiply them by the scale factor. So multiplying by 1/2 is the same as dividing by 2. So if I take A, which is at 3, 9, B is at 9, 9, and C is at 3, 3. Multiply each of these coordinates by 1/2 and I will find where they are. So 3, 1/2 of 3 is 1.5, 1/2 of 9 is 4.5. So it'll be at 1.5 and 4.5. 1/2 of 9 is 4.5, and then 4.5, so this will be A prime, B prime, 4.5, 4.5, which is right here. And then C prime, 1/2 of 3 is 1.5. This will be C prime. And our dilation is right there. Draw the dilation of the figure given the scale factor k equals 2. And the center of dilation is at 2, -3. So this is our center of dilation. Scale factor of 2, which means it's getting bigger, which means that our new figure, our image, will be further away. So when the center of dilation is somewhere else, we just take our distance and multiply it by the scale factor. So right now this point is 1 away, so it's going to be 2 away. This point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 up and 1 across, so we just do that again. 1, 2, 5, 1. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 and 1, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So our dilation, scale factor of 2, is just like that. Draw the dilation of the figure given the scale factor k equals 1/2, and the center of dilation is at 1, 1. So it's 1/2, which means it's going to be getting closer. So G is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up and 2 over. So 1/2 of 7 is 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5. 1/2 of 2 is 1, so we just go 1 over, and G prime is right there. L, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over, 1, 2, 3 up. So 1/2 of 5 is 2.5. 1/2 of 3 is 1.5. L prime will be right there. K is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over, and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So it'll be 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. This will be K prime. J is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 up. So 1/2 of 6 is 3, 1/2 of 7 is 3.5. J prime will be right there. Draw our figure. That is a dilation of 1/2. Draw the dilation of the figure given the scale factor is 3. So the origin is going to be our center, which means we just take our points and multiply them by 3. This point is 1, -2. This is 1, 2. And this one is -2, -2. So we're just taking it and multiplying by 3. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is, 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. -2 times 3 is -6. -2 times 3 is -6. So it'll be -6, -6. 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, -6. 1, 2, 3, -6, -6, -6. Draw the figure. It's a dilation, scale factor of 3. That's it for the review for Unit 9 test.